Welcome, everybody. This is Ava filling in for John. Welcome to Mertech.com's Daily News Update Extra. We are sharing a video snippet that provides no nonsense, common sense, logic, and truth. I am following this channel and given this video a thumbs up. The link to this video is in the description box below. Please follow Mertech on Rumble. Give me a thumbs up and share this information far and wide. This great news update will begin momentarily. Thank you and may God bless.
President Trump calling out Democrat Governor of California Gavin Newsom for allowing male athletes in his state to compete against females. He says in violation of his historic February 5th executive order entitled Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports. The president posting on Truth Social, quote, "This week, a transitioned male athlete at a major event won everything and is now qualified to compete in the state finals next weekend. This is not fair and totally demeaning to women and girls. Please be hereby advised that large-scale federal funding will be held back, maybe permanently, if the executive order on this subject matter is not adhered to." The president adding an order to local authorities, who that is remains unclear, to, if necessary, not allow the transitioned person to compete in the state finals, which again are this weekend. The male athlete in question, A.B. Hernandez from Jurupa Valley outside of Los Angeles. Hernandez placed first in the women's triple jump and long jump at the California Interscholastic Federation, or CIF, Southern Section Masters this past weekend. He jumped 4 feet longer in the triple jump than the real winner, Reese Hogan, and more than 5 inches farther on the long jump than real winner, Katie McGinnis. CIF Southern Section, in an obvious effort to appease angry parents, on Tuesday, just hours after Trump's post, announced a new pilot entry process allowing, quote, biologically female student athletes to compete in the upcoming state track and field championship that missed out on qualifying initially because of a trans athlete. So these girls will have yet another chance to compete against this biological boy, which doesn't exactly solve their problem. As of now, Hernandez is still allowed to participate. Here's what he said earlier this year about the state championships.
I just keep telling myself, you are number one, and it's yours to lose. Expectation just to keep my phases longer, push more, work out more, get further, hopefully hit a 41 this year if it's possible, preferably at state so that I can possibly win.
Hernandez has lost some events this season, but has mostly dominated, winning one triple jump event by 8 feet in February. Hernandez's wins at these events a major source of contention in the community. One furious mother confronting AB's mother at a March event.
I have a right to speak truth. Boys are boys, girls are girls. This did not belong competing against those girls, period. What a coward of a woman you are allowing that. Telling girls to go and compete against a boy? How embarrassing. How is mother? You're a mother. Stand up like a mother. I am a mother. I'm protecting girls.
Some parents and spectators erupting with vocal support for the female athletes at different meets throughout the season, making their stance clear from the sidelines. After a May 17th meet, Reese Hogan, who officially finished second in the triple jump behind Hernandez, a result that was repeated last weekend, stood for just a moment atop the first place podium after the medal ceremony was over, receiving thunderous applause from the crowd in a show of solidarity. Hogan set a new personal record and school record with her jump. Kate McGinnis, the second place finisher in the long jump, also at the May 17th meet, speaking out on Fox News after her loss.
I have nothing against this athlete as a person, and I have nothing against the trans community. I watched AB do their jump, and the numbers on the screen lit up to 19 feet 2 inches, which was the furthest mark of that day. Normally, something typical that long jump athletes will do is they start a clapping sequence kind of to gain momentum from the crowd and kind of feel the rhythm of the jump. And so I did that, and I ran down the runway. I landed, and I watched them measure my mark, and it was 18.9. And I just remember thinking that there was nothing else that I could do, that was it. Winning CIF has always been a goal of mine, and I wasn't able to compete with someone who is genetically different than me.
A.B. Hernandez is delighted with his wins, calling claims that he has male advantage idiotic because sometimes he has lost. His mother adding, quote, her identity does not give her an advantage. It gives her courage. Corrected with the proper pronouns, that sentence reads, his identity doesn't give him an advantage. It gives him courage. In March, Governor Newsom admitted to conservative influencer Charlie Kirk that boys competing in girls' sports is deeply unfair. The governor following up on those comments a month later at a press conference, saying the issue was low on his priority list due to the small number of trans athletes in California. Mr. Newsom also saying his administration just can't figure out how to handle the issue.
We work with experts. We literally were talking to some International Olympic Committee experts. We talked to our own state experts. We were trying to figure this out and couldn't figure it out. And that's my point of view, that I just couldn't figure out how to, quote unquote, make this fair.
According to California's Legislative Analyst's Office, the state received roughly $8 billion from the federal government for K-12 education for the 24 to 25 school year, about 6% of total K-12 funding. While the Trump administration has signaled it may withhold funds from states that defy his Title IX protections for female athletes, it remains unclear how much of that $8 billion California could lose. Any move to freeze funding would likely trigger an immediate legal battle. The Trump administration on Tuesday announcing an update to COVID vaccine recommendations.
As of today, the COVID vaccine for healthy children and healthy pregnant women has been removed from the CDC recommended immunization schedule. Last year, the Biden administration urged healthy children to get yet another COVID shot despite the lack of any clinical data to support the repeat booster strategy in children.
There's no evidence healthy kids need it today, and most countries have stopped recommending it for children.
We're now one step closer to realizing President Trump's promise to make America healthy again.
The FDA's new framework for COVID vaccine recs, as published in the New England Journal of Medicine, still recommends the vaccine be made available for Americans over age 65 and younger people with one or more high-risk factors. High-risk factors include obesity and mental health conditions like depression. The Trump administration estimates that 100 million to 200 million Americans will have access to vaccines based on these guidelines. FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty Makary, who co-authored the New England Journal of Medicine piece, elaborating further on the Trump administration's thought process last week in front of the Senate Subcommittee on Agriculture, Rural Development, Food and Drug Administrations, and related agencies.
It's been 4 to 5 years since we've had a randomized controlled trial, and so we don't know the right number of boosters that a healthy American should take. Do we believe in giving 80 mRNA shots to a healthy girl born today in her average lifespan of 80 years? Is that the right answer? There's been no data to support it. So we are doing our job to say that if we're going to approve a COVID vaccine for younger, healthy Americans, we'd like to see some clinical trial data. Should we blindly rubber stamp a vaccine that creates a new protein in the body every year for the rest of our lives for the next 100 years? I don't think so.
Coming up, former Sean Diddy Combs employee Capricorn Clark takes the stand in the mogul's criminal trial, providing more insight into the alleged incident between Combs and musician Kid Cudi. And Kamala Harris spreads her words in the land down under. Again, that Tuesday marked the beginning of week 3 of the Sean Diddy Combs criminal trial. Lead prosecutor Maureen Comey, yes, that Comey, she's the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, telling the judge the prosecution is ahead of schedule, anticipating resting its case in 5 weeks instead of 6. Combs has pleaded not guilty. Taking the stand for the full day on Tuesday, Capricorn Clark, former assistant to Combs and Ventura, of course, the prosecution's star witness, who took the stand the first week of the trial. Clark testifying that she was once harshly shoved by Combs, threatened by him, subjected to a 5-day lie detector test at his direction, and more, including a December 2011 incident involving Combs and Kid Cudi. Clark claiming she was kidnapped by Combs, furious after finding out star witness Cassie Ventura was in a relationship with musician Kid Cudi. Clark telling the jury that Combs, brandishing a gun, showed up at her home and directed her to, quote, "Get dressed. We're going to kill that N-word," saying they drove to Kid Cudi's house where Combs entered, but Kid Cudi was not there. The testimony dovetailing what Kid Cudi told jurors last week. that there was a break-in at his home and he suspected Combs. On cross-examination, the defense suggesting Clark's horrific memory of Combs don't exactly line up with her more recent emails to him, pointing to a 2014 email from Clark to Combs after Combs fired her in 2012 that reads, quote, "Hopefully you'll forgive me soon. It's been long enough. I feel like you've forgiven everyone else but me." Clark testifying earlier in the day that she was officially fired for a vacation she took, but saying she believes the real reason was because Combs was upset that she knew about Ventura's relationship with Kid Cudi and did not tell Combs. Clark breaking into tears several times throughout cross-examination. Another email from Clark to Combs in 2015, quote, "My hope for this year is that you make good on your promise to get over things and actually be my friend again." Clark telling the defense she wanted to work with Combs again because she missed working in the music industry. The defense also calling up a 2021 text message in which Clark writes to Combs, quote, "Did you ever know that I had the biggest crush on you before I started working for you?" On redirect, Clark telling prosecutors she ultimately returned to work for Bad Boy Records because she could not find work elsewhere, saying through sobs, quote, "He held all the power as it related to me." If convicted, Combs faces up to life in prison. Former Vice President Kamala Harris resurfacing on Sunday, this time in the land down under. Ms. Harris appearing at the Australian Real Estate Conference, where tickets reportedly went for $999 to $1,695 a piece. It's unclear exactly why Ms. Harris was invited to participate in a Q&A session at the two-day event, but video surfacing on X, former Veep, in her familiar, free-flowing form. In this clip here, Ms. Harris answers a question about the importance of humility.
You have the ability to understand the context in which you live, the context in which others live. You're more likely to then connect with them and understand what's important to them. Okay, this is the thing that I've also known about life, and I'm sure everyone here understands. The vast majority of human beings are very intelligent, regardless of their education level, regardless of where they're from, and intelligent enough to know whether when you are looking at them, you are looking at them with a level of respect. They will know that you are someone who is actually interested in their life and their reality and their fears and their dreams, or not. It requires you to be self-aware enough to understand that you may not understand their life. Yes. And then do some work to figure out how you can understand it better.
Ms. Harris also asked to offer advice to the young women in the room, trotting out this familiar line of hers.
I don't hear no. I eat no for breakfast. I don't hear no until maybe the 10th time. I cannot tell you the many times that it has been explicitly or implicitly said to me, "It's not your time. You're not ready. They're not ready. Nobody like you has done this." And then when I love, "Oh, it's going to be a lot of hard work." Don't you listen.
24-year-old real estate agent Ella Cass, who attended the talk, giving her impression to the Daily Mail Australia, quote, "The way she speaks, I don't know if it's media training, but she will answer a question, try to tell a story, and then repeat her answer. Honestly, I lost focus every time she was explaining her answer." Honestly, Ella, we did too. But we look forward to the debut of Miss Harris's Australian accent. G'day, mates. And that'll do it for your AM update. I'm Megyn Kelly. Join me back here for the Megyn Kelly Show, live on SiriusXM Triumph Channel 111 at noon East, on youtube.com/Megyn Kelly, and on all podcast platforms.